Hyperlocal Agent Facebook group. I'm here with Adam, and Adam and I were just starting to chat a little bit about neighborhood events. As you guys know, we have the summit coming up on all things events. So let me see if I can blend in the event summit banner. I don't think I have it here. Oh, well, I will get this one blended in a minute. But Adam has been doing events, and we talked about a few of them, but the one I really want to dive into is your Bark in the Park. So first up, I love your title. I'm like,
Thank
did you
you.
come up with it?
I did actually. Yeah, there were going to be dogs in a park, and we thought, why not bark in a park? So that's what we did.
All right,
So,
well, let's talk a little bit about it. What is the event and how's the flow go? How does it work? And then we'll just answer a little bit more of the how-to questions, if that's okay.
okay. So I guess, I had done several events prior, and so I myself am a dog person, and so, I wanted to do something that was authentic to me, and something that I was genuinely interested in. And so I thought, why not create an event where, uh, people in the neighborhood and their pets can socialize. And so that was kind of like the whole theme behind the event. And, it went off without a hitch. And so it was a pretty good event. I tried to be a little creative and do things differently because, there's, a ton of people that do all types of events. And so what we did is we created a station for people to like color bandanas like that you put around the necks of your pets, like that you would get from a groomer. So we got like fabric markers, and we had handkerchiefs made to put around the pets' necks, and it was a big hit. And we got like stencils so people could color in them, and we created little stations in the park for people to decorate and design their own handkerchiefs.
That's awesome. So really like the whole experience. So it was for a neighborhood. How big was the neighborhood?
So I have about 700 homes in my farm, so that's how big it was.
Okay, and then when you invited them, how did you go about that?
So I do several different things. So I send out a direct mailer to people in the community with a QR code on how to RSVP for the event. I also put signs throughout the neighborhood as well, around the park that I'm holding the event, and that's how I. And then I also created like a social media reel for like Instagram and stuff like that, promoting the event as well.
Awesome. So lots of promotion going on that one. So if you're doing that event, obviously pet owners is your ideal target, right? People with pets. Are we just talking about dogs, or do you have like somebody that was like, hey, I have a cat. If I put her on a leash, can I bring her?
Um, Yeah, so I mean, I would have welcomed cats too, so there's nothing wrong with cats. But we mostly got dogs, so we got mostly got dogs, and
Dog owners.
mhm, yeah.
Awesome. So when you were like doing those pet station, the banana one, I'm like, this is amazing. Lots of fun, creativity, right? Gets also the kids involved to keep them busy. What other things are you doing for that event itself? Like, how does the flow look when somebody gets to the park? Do they?
So yeah, so I mean, just over the course of doing several events, I've kind of I try to make every event a little bigger and better. So I have like an easy up tent that I put up in the park, and I would recommend getting. If you're planning on doing events, I would plan on getting an easy up tent because so people know where to find you. And what I also did is, I want to make it worthwhile for people that show up to the event. So I create like a little goodie bag or whatnot. I had things with my company logo, like I had, the stereotypical notepads that most realtors use. So I put those in like a goodie bag. I had little dog waste bags or things like that that you could use with my logo on it as well. I had all sorts of things like put in the goodie bag and things like that.
That's awesome. So when everybody is there, they kind of just go from station to station, get a goodie bag, do a bandana, talk to some other neighbors with pets.
Yeah, so and then I was there as well, going around, basically introducing myself, because I think I left a part of that out is, so when I send my direct mailer out, I also put a QR code, uh, to a Google Doc, and the Google Doc basically just collects information for me, and so it like, it gives me their name, their number, email address, and, one of the questions I use that I've seen success with is this: Are you interested in buying or selling real estate within the next 12 months? And so that kind of this says, like, do you want to hear from me? And so if somebody answers yes to those questions, I'm kind of have my eye out looking for them, when they get to the park, because sometimes those people even walk right up to me and start asking, uh, me questions about how the market's doing and what they can do.
And I feel like you have a nice way in with just, I mean, pet lovers connect with pet lovers,
Right.
It's a
Exactly.
really genuine connection.
Exactly.
That's awesome. A little bit on the follow-up. What does your follow-up look like after the event?
So I add them to my CRM, and then I call them immediately after the event. Just say, I want to thank you so much for attending my event, and then I go into, if they answered yes, I'm interested in buying or selling real estate within the next 12 months. I noticed you answered yes, you're interested in buying or selling real estate. Can you tell me, what your plans are, or what you had in mind? And so then we kind of go from there, and then yeah, that's how it generally goes.
Do you like spotlight any dogs during the event where
Yeah, so what I do is, because for me, it doesn't really make a difference as far as, if I have 10 people attend the event or if I have 100 people attend the event. The setup and, the cost for the mailer is the same. So, I have a videographer come to any event that I hold. And basically I have them make like a highlight reel for me because, if I'm, spending the money to, have these events, I want to make sure I have, video evidence of them, and, I can reuse that video for future events or promotions and things like that.
so one of the cool things that I'm a dog owner, okay? So one of the cool things that our pet store did was one of those flip books when you're like, you like flip through them. It was like 300 pages thick and it would make like this little, stop motion cartoon. I mean, there's so much opportunity to just, I know you've just started it, but to just bring it to the next level for, hey, here's a promotional company. They do these cool little flip books, 300 pages, and it just goes and, it looks like the dog is moving or
It's
something.
cool.
I
Yeah.
mean, really like cool stuff. I mean, down to like, hey, how about a special photo op just for your pet, right? I mean, you can get so creative with any of these stations. I mean, the bandana is awesome. Any other stations you've done that were like a huge success like that?
Um, I mean, like, yeah, so I just did the other thing I do as well is I do a raffle as well. Like I usually like a Visa gift card or something like that. Just because I want people to be excited to come to the event. I mean, I'm sure they're interested in meeting people in the neighborhood, meeting me as well, but any extras that you can add on to it, um, are definite, selling points, and, reasons that people don't want to, they'll see your signs and they don't want to miss your event.
Yeah, I'm just thinking. So I'm always like looking at like how, what else can we bring in? And one of the things that I'm just like thinking too is like if you have um something that does, DIY dog bowls, like if you're out and about
Yeah,
hiking and you just forgot to bring your dog bowl, right? Like having a live demonstration of like, hey, if you got a water bottle, right? Here's how to turn this into like this makeshift. I'm sure there's like a cool way to do it. I just don't know about it.
yeah,
But I feel like there is like live demonstrations you can do. You could partner up
yeah,
with a pet adoption event and say, hey, not only are we going to have, the people already having a pup, but if you've been thinking about it, our local pet adoption center is going to come out and just, even if they just bring poster boards, they don't have to bring the real deal, right? They just can bring poster boards of like, hey, here's, 6 pets that we currently have for adoption.
that's
And it
cool.
gives you vendor sponsors to just say, hey, here's more, more pet related stuff. I just walked into a pet store yesterday actually, and they had a dog wash. So like a simple thing of like, here are the, 10 stores around us that have dog washes on the inside. Believe it or not, it's not good for your plumbing. If you have a very hairy dog that, is shedding a lot
Yeah.
and it's really messy. So sometimes just having other additional items, so hopefully that'll, help you a little bit to think, how can
Yeah.
we add more stuff?
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know what company that was. Somebody was just asking what company that book was. They're called flip books. Like I said, they're, and it was miniature. I'm sure I still have mine somewhere. I gotta look for it. But it was like a little flip book. It was the coolest thing. They had like little props. So we were trying to put a hat on the dog and like like a
Hmm.
glass. I don't know. It was
That's
hilarious.
cool.
It was funny.
Sounds cute.
Yeah, that was awesome. If somebody's on the fence on getting started with events, what would be your recommendation?
Start small. You can always, grow and get bigger. But like, try and start with something that's authentic to you. And, as your first event's probably not going to be your best event, and that's okay. You're still going to have people that show up, and you're still going to be able to, collect leads and things like that. But just get better as you go along.
I love that. Simplicity wins. Don't overcomplicate it. And he said it like 3 times. Start.
Hmm.
Start. So
Yeah,
thanks so much for sharing. That was fun.
no problem. Yes, thanks for
Awesome.
having me.
Of course. If anybody got referrals, where are we able to find you? City, state,
Uh,
all good stuff.
I'm in Orange County, so I'm in Orange County, California.
All right. One of the like most competitive markets.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. So I mean, like that, those events and stuff like that. Those are things that help you set yourself apart from other agents. So like I hear it all the time. In my neighborhoods that I'm farming, like they say, "Oh, you're everywhere," because they get my mailers, they see my events, they see my signs, and so it's just an extra, dimension that you can of marketing that you can have, in your tool belt.
Absolutely. 100% agree. This was awesome. Thanks, Adam.
All right, you're welcome. Thank you for having me.